Item 2 on the to-do list today is to get a vlog done. Gosh, time flies so fast. I can see how, dare I say, it's going to be the end of summer before too long. What's the update? I'm still on my workouts, going down the path of doing the little CrossFit challenge I had made for myself, and I'm up to 6 sets right now, and I've got my sets down. I'm really below weight 20. I think I did it in like 16 or 17 minutes, which was running the half a mile, going through 6 sets of the pull-ups, push-ups, and squats, and then running another half a mile. So then this week we take down my assistants to a smaller band, and then next week we go to 7 sets. So my goal is by August to be at 10, and you know, I feel a little bit stronger. I don't think I really have arms, or I don't feel like I have arms yet, but I feel like my core is getting stronger to support me for my push-ups, which is really my weak link. On the running, I've done awful, so I put out a cry for help here in the area to get some people just to go with. It's hard to want to go by myself. When I don't have a race that's really soon, I tend to procrastinate. So I'm hoping some peer pressure will help me get my runs in this summer. And I want to stay married happily, and right now with running with my husband, he is so much faster than me that every time I stop and take a breather because I can't keep up, he looks at me like, really? Already you're stopping? So until I get faster, it's not a match made in heaven for that. What am I going to talk about today? I guess I want to talk about the sun. So there are always a lot of people out there that are anti-sun. And I think as an industry, the skincare and dermatology industry tend to tell us all the bad things about it. And I kind of feel like someone needs to stick up for the sun. So that's going to be kind of what my little post is. I'll try not to get on my soapbox. I'll try just to give some different food for thought. I will caveat it with, I did own a tanning salon, and I do not burn easily. So obviously I tend to have a more pro-sun view than not. But I just think that sometimes I feel like someone should stick up for little Mr. Sunshine. So I'm going to just give some facts and tidbits that I learned. As a tanning salon operator, I was very militant about making sure the girls understood what benefits the sun could have, and also how that ties into people's skin types. I'll put it right down here. I think the most important thing when using the sun is understanding you personally and your skin type. Because a type 1 person, I would have never, ever, 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 ever let in a tanning bed, because their skin, no matter what, is going to burn. So I think they have a very different story than someone like me that's like type 5 that I very rarely burn. So a couple of the things that opened up my mind and I thought were pretty cool about the sun that I had read. One book was called The Healing Sun, and it talks about how in the early 1900s and all the way through the 21st century, sun has been used within medical care as one of the treatments that do things from heal a wound to heal a mind, to help the person keep their viewpoints up, or their serotonin is what's produced from the sun, and that's part of what gives you a happy mood in your brain. I've also had the vitamin D prescription, which was really talking about how sun plays in also in the medical industry. But my favorite book that I say, if you're only going to read one book, and I actually saw him speak at a conference, is called The UV Advantage. I have all my little things here from when I used to make pamphlets about the sun. And it's by Michael Hollick, and I'll put his website here. I think the reason sun, I'm talking about it, and I thought about it with that Facebook post from a friend of mine, is because I think of it a lot like exercise. The guy next door is mowing his lawn. Hopefully that's not too loud. I'll ask somebody, do you think exercise is good for you? And they'll say, absolutely, it helps you maintain your weight, it gives you an adrenaline boost after you work out, it keeps you active so that you stay young and your joints and continue to move, it's not, they don't get stiffed up. And I say, that's great, that's all the great things of exercise, but did you know that your body and how it treats exercise, you could actually, if somebody was like an industry that made money from trying to get people not to exercise, you could say exercise actually tears your muscle fibers and breaks down your body and creates free radicals that make you age. And so there's a bad side to exercise if you wanted to highlight that and scare people from that. God, that's getting loud. The other thing is that's exactly what people say about the sun. It creates free radicals that creates aging. It can have your DNA replicate incorrectly, which can lead to cancer. And they point out all these things and they scare us about it. But really, our body is an amazing tool. And those things were meant to happen as part of our makeup. And, when you exercise, your body takes the protein you eat and repairs those torn muscles and makes them bigger and better. And, I think a lot of us that read each other's blogs recognize the importance of letting your body heal after exercise and the role it plays in your life. I think that we can find a, maybe not a balance, but I like to use the word harmony with the sun. So when you are exposed to UVB light, your body takes your melanin in your skin and raises it to the surface. That melanin is what tans. That tan provides a natural barrier to the sun to protect your body from UVB rays. That is a natural reaction. When that happens, the UVB reacts with the cholesterol in your skin and produces active vitamin D. For my skin type, at my latitude and longitude, according to Michael Holick, my body in about 7 minutes will produce 15,000 IUs of active vitamin D3. For me to take a fish oil, I'm only getting 1,000. So imagine if your body is made to be that efficient at making vitamin D, do you really think that we're meant as humans naturally to try to consume that level? Vitamin D is also a fat-soluble vitamin, so I think that's part of the reason that we make so much, is that our bodies can store some of it. I think the Vitamin D Council, or the I can't remember, ITA, it's Tanning Association, I think they offer vitamin D test for like $50, and I think it's an awesome thing to do to check and see where you're at and monitor it either through that or with your doctor. A lot of the vitamin D deficiencies have been linked to your cancers, your internal cancers, your breast, your prostate, your colon cancer, and that's some of what Michael Holick goes through in this book. I think what I like about him is he's not pro-tanning, he's not crazy sun, he's very factual about, let's look at the correlations of the data and understand how our bodies were made and what it was meant to do, and just be aware of what our intakes are and how sunshine can play a healthy, healing place in our life. I don't like the other extreme where it's the scary kind where, to me, it doesn't make sense to smother on a chemical all over your body just to go outside, even if you're only outside 15 minutes, as an alternative to not getting rays from the sun because they're damaging. So I think if you take the other argument about the sun, which is aging, I think that I take a little different view on that. I think if you're worried about aging, the most important thing you can do is maintain your acid-alkaline balance. If you look at the things you put in your body compared to the time you're in the sun, what's impacting your body more? For most of us, the sun, especially here in Chicago, might show up 2 months and God knows how many days out of that. So to my body, and I always speak as a greatest sample of one, what I do with my body throughout my mouth 3 times a day when I eat is more important than if I stay out and suntan one day for an hour. So I pay more attention to that. Your body is like a pool. So just like a pool, when it gets extremely acidic, your body is 70% water, that pool will get green and algae and stuff will grow. So you have to put stuff in to make it more alkaline. Same thing with your body. If your body is extremely acidic from having carbs, sugars, sodas, and you don't put anything in it to make it more alkaline, which are your vegetables and your greens, you're going to grow algae, cancer in your body. So I think that to me, if somebody is worried about cancers and disease and stuff from the sun, you know, I like to take, instead of taking a fear-based reaction to it and, you know, avoiding it and overusing sunscreen, I like to be the proactive side and say, what do we do to get more alkaline? And for me, I drink chlorophyll. I try to make sure, you know, my greens are up. So just a little bit of what I do for harmony and around the sun. I do want to say that, you know, again, it's very specific to your skin type. For me, I will go out to the pool and it will be an hour and a half. If I'm going to spend all afternoon at a pool, it'll be an hour and a half before I apply sunscreen. And I'll typically apply it here on my shoulders and my nose where I will burn. But my son, who has a much different skin type than I do, I'll let him be about 30 to 45 minutes in the sun in a pool with no sunscreen, and then I'll apply it to him because he will burn more quickly than I will. And I think it is important that while I am an advocate for the sun, I am not an advocate of burning. Burning is what is destructive about the sun, not tanning. So that's, I guess it did kind of sound soapbox. I'm very passionate about it. I think that we need to find a balance. I don't think we were meant to sit inside all the time in our offices, and I think that's part of the reason our bodies are having trouble with the sun, is that we'd never see it. So I'm interested to see what kind of conversation this spurs around, and I don't think the Sun's PR company is going to give me any props for this, but I hope that it just made you consider a little bit about educating yourself and making the decision on what's right for your skin type and your body and your health. I'll talk to you soon. So leave your comment, let me know what you think, and we'll decide what we're going to talk about next. Take care.